I don't know how many times I could tell you to buy a Moto RAZR Plus, but I'm going to tell you one more time because Moto's running a sale. Now, full disclosure, it's probably some sort of, not clearance sale, but it is a clearing out inventory. There probably is going to be a new one of these, whether it's the Moto RAZR 50 or RAZR Plus 2024, whatever name they come up with it. There probably is a new one of these coming in the next couple of months, so keep that in mind. But it certainly won't start at $699, which is what you could currently pick up one of these for. And for that money, what you get, the styling, the quality, just everything else, that's a phenomenal deal if you're looking to get a decently priced foldable in 2024. So let's talk about the RAZR Plus because it really has been, the collection of my favorite phones is growing by the day. However, if I weren't a reviewer, if I didn't have my SIM in multiple phones a month, this would be near the top of the list of my favorite devices to use. Every time there's a holiday or a family event or something that I'm going to, that this week when I put my SIM back in it just to see how things were going, I absolutely loved it. Everybody stops you and asks what this is. Everybody says, what is that? What is the phone? Get past the flippable portion of it. Just the actual styling, the color. If you get one of these and you get it in anything other than Viva Magenta, you're doing it wrong. That peach color is fine. If you like that, that's fine. The new Pantone color of the year, whatever. This is the color to get it in. That vegan leather, the eco leather, has held up. So you smacked the camera around. Has held up gorgeously. Just look at this. And this has been without a case. This has been on tables. This has been on bars. This has been at bowling. Without a case on it, it just looks gorgeous. And the aluminum matched color. There's one, the little bit of wear. There's one you can barely even see it up there. There's one little speck of wear there that I've had over the course of almost a year now with this phone. But overall, it's held up well. Then you get to the fact that the regular durability of the hinge, which I was concerned about when I first got it, no problem there. In fact, in my mind, it's actually held up a little bit better than the Flip 5. This feels as close to new as my Flip 5 does, or at least as close to new as the RAZR Plus did on the first day that I used it. So really just excellent durability, held up well. I know the main concern that a lot of people have online is battery life. I don't really know why. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus is known for good battery life. It's power efficient. I haven't really had an issue with overheating. Does this phone get warm? Yes, it's a very thin device. So when you task it, it can get a little bit warm, but nothing that would concern me or that really I noticed that throttles performance or anything like that. So that's something to consider. But when you look at everything that you get for $699, yes, okay, the spec sheet, if you read it off, like I said, the Gen 1 Plus, the 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, 1080p display. The spec sheet doesn't scream $700, especially in 2024, but that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for the foldability. You're paying for the outer display. You're paying for the style factor. You're paying for the portability of it, just how cool it is in the hand. Those are the things that you're paying the premium for at this point on a device like this. So those are things to keep in mind. And while the other RAZR's nice, the regular RAZR is nice, and that's on sale too, I think $499. This is the one I think you should step up to because of the outer display. The outer display is incredibly useful. I was using this, I was holding the baby this morning, and I wanted to text people, and I wanted to scroll and whatever else, and I was able to do everything that I wanted to do on these outer display. I was able to message, I was able to scroll, I was able to go on Instagram and just kind of scroll through, no problem, and it's a great experience with that 144 hertz on this outer display. It's a nice big outer display. It looks great. You can see Xavier there chilling on the outer display. This is the selling point of this device, along with the style and along with everything else. Now, we talked about that battery life, 3,800 milliamp hour battery, but I never sweated battery life on this in a year. Like I said, that Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus is power efficient. I never really had it. People complain about the battery. I don't know why. It gets me well over 6 hours of screen on time and then some. You're not going to use, big 6.9-inch display. You're not going to be using that all day. With a usable outer display, you actually wind up saving battery because you're going to wind up using it for scrolling. Like kind of idle scrolling, stupid stuff, quick message responses. You're going to do that on the outer display. So that's going to save you. It saves you opening it. It saves you a bunch of different things. So there's the reasons why the outer display is really important. And saving battery life is one of them. Okay, updates. Because it's Motorola, so we got to talk about it. It is getting I think it's scheduled bi-monthly updates. It is getting that. It's running on a March update, security patch. That's fine. Android 13. Now, I know this is going to bring back horror for a lot of people who are Moto fans. Look, as long as they get out the security patches in a bi-monthly fashion and they cover it for the amount of time that they said they're going to cover it for, I'm good. Moto has always been, don't expect the latest version of Android in the same calendar year in which it was released. It's just not going to happen. I'd rather them spend their time getting it right. There's nothing about Android 14 that just screams out at me, and it feels like I'm missing my experience somehow on this device because I don't have Android 14. It's just not the case for me. This isn't like a Pixel type device. If people who buy this don't have that Pixel mentality where I need feature drops, I need monthly whatever, I need blah, 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 blah. Nothing, none of that. The attraction here is the phone, is the form factor, is the performance. That's why you buy this. The outer display. This could be running Android 13 since it's running well and there's no battery drain or anything really horrifying. I don't really care about that. But at the same time, I know why people are sensitive to it. And Moto doesn't get a pass. We still need Android 14 at some point. We still need those updates. They're not fostering any goodwill by basically ignoring the people from 2022. They're supporting the 2023 devices, that kind of renaissance that Motorola had. That's great for the new people who are buying. But you got phones for 2021, 2022 that are promised updates that are not getting them. And they're awfully slow getting them. So you're going to have people who are ready to upgrade. You're going to have people who are on that upgrade cycle or looking for new phones, and they're going to pass you up. They're going to pass Motorola over. And that would be a shame because Moto's really done some excellent work last year and into this year, getting us some really competitive devices that absolutely compete with Samsung. This is better than the Flip 5. Originally, I said the Flip 5 is kind of the phone that you buy your grandma, and this is the one if you want to take some chances. I don't think this is a chance anymore. This is held up pretty darn well. This is the phone you get if you just like flips. This is the phone you get if you like phones, if you like technology. This is the phone that you buy. So I understand there might be some FOMO in a couple months when they come out with a new one, but it's not going to be $700. It's going to be $1,000. If there isn't a price increase, it's going to be $1,000. So you got to have that conversation in your head. If you're worried, if you're okay with $1,000, that's fine. But if your budget is squarely like $600-700, and you want to get into one of these, you can absolutely do that. And don't get the Gorilla Glass frosted back ones, the blue one, the seafoam one, the black one. Those are nice. Get yourself a vegan leather one because you can rock it without a case. You bring this thing around. It is a fantastic, like I said, it's a showstopper and a conversation starter. Everybody will ask you about this phone. Everybody's going to ask you about this phone, and rightfully so, because it is that cool. So they got to get with the updates. They got to keep making sure that they deliver what they promise on. But otherwise, this is a fantastic, fantastic phone. Really love it. 6.9-inch display, so you're getting a big full experience on the inside. It's a little narrower than you used to, but it's wider than the Flip 5. So you get a kind of a fuller-bodied experience. Just a beautiful OLED, saturated, 165 hertz, like we talked about. Just a 1080p, sure, but it's just a phenomenally thin device. The crease is great on it. Just using it is just a joy. The cameras aren't horrible on it. Performance has been excellent, and for $699, this is definitely the one that you want to get. I can't tell you anymore, right? I don't know how many times I got to tell you, but I can't tell you anymore. The RAZR Plus is the foldable that you should be buying even in 2024 until the new one comes out. But like I said, new one's going to be $1,000. So you can get a nice little entry point on a phone that's still going to be supported, is supported, still running well, going to be doing everything you're going to want it to do. Unless you're a hardcore gamer, which is very tough on these displays anyway, because you get kind of that plasticky material. It's tough to be a hardcore gamer on one of these. But if you're not, this is a phone that you're going to want to look at and take a look. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have a delicious day.